Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. We're going to do a Divine Masculine check-in. Let's see where we go. Okay. All right, Spirit, thanks for being with us. Thank you for hovering over us. What do Divine Masculines need to know? What are they confronting? What are they working with? What are the blocks showing up on their path? What are the solutions to their blocks? Okay, we're getting a million cards. Hold on. It's funny, didn't we just get this in another reading? Deep Knowing. We have Time to Go. It kind of came out sideways. I'll just leave that there. And we have Cycles, Round and Round. Okay, anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Masculines, this is all about your discernment right now. You are being asked to do what you need to do, cut out what you need to cut out, create enough space to get quiet within yourself so that you can access your internal wisdom, your deep, deep, deep intuition, because you are going to be confronted with a few forks in the roads or a crossroads. But I'm saying it like that. It's coming out a little weird because I'm seeing multiple of them. So you will be confronted with many choice points. And if you do not have a clear vessel, if you are leaking energy to people, places, and things that do not serve your highest good, you will not be able to access. Ooh, excuse me. Interesting, my throat just crapped out right there. You will struggle to access your aligned, most resonant truth. Anytime, I haven't used this deck in a while, but some of these cards have this banner of ribbons or flags or whatever across the top. And in this deck, I always think of that as either a finish line, like when you're finishing a race, or a starting line. So masculines, you are, in some parts of your life, you're finishing the race. You can go to the winner's circle and collect your medal. In other parts of your life, you're beginning a new race. It's a really beautiful time for you masculines. But to make it, sorry, I stopped myself. I was going to say to make it even more beautiful, but really what it's about is to make choices that no longer have you going round and round and round, to do the thing that you haven't done, to look yourself or the problem in the eye and take accountability, take radical responsibility for stopping the cycle. We have To Be Fair. You're bringing justice. Look, another finish line, starting line banner. Yeah, you're bringing balance. And another owl I just noticed. Sorry. Hold on, I need a sip. Okay, masculines, temperance. Temperance is the name of the game. You are bringing balance to different parts of your life. What does that look like? What am I talking about? What does that even mean? Okay, so just let's look at our basic life. Let's zoom out and do very generic categories. You're bringing balance to work. You're bringing balance to home life. For some reason, I got the message, if you have a family that is somehow fragmented, either physically or geographically, like people are living in different places, you're bringing balance to that. You're bringing balance, and another word for balance in this context is justice. Some of you may be having legal matters, legal issues. Maybe it's over a child, over property, over dissolution of relationships, marriages, contracts at work, fill in the blank, whatever applies to you. All of this stuff is coming into balance, and what will help you anchor that equilibrium is by being a clear enough channel, by loving yourself enough to access your wise discernment, to make choices that actually make you feel good, masculines. Not choices that out of obligation, not choices because you think you should be doing it, but what choices actually fill your cup, masculines? What choices actually feel good to you? We're no longer pretending here. You've done that for far too long. Okay, we have this orphan card in reverse. You're calling back to you all of these parts of self that you've abandoned, all of these parts of self that you've betrayed in the name of fill in the blank, in the name of your children, in the name of your family, in the name of the job, in the name of whatever it is. And then we have the thinker in reverse. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it under deep knowing. So it's okay, masculines. I'm so sorry I keep coughing. I don't know why I have such a tickle in my throat, but it also might be pointing to masculines, your struggle with communication. It's understandable. It's not an accident that you have this deep knowing and then you have the thinker in reverse. It takes a lot of presence and deep excavation of your authentic expression to understand and identify your actual truth. So, masculines, is there anywhere in your life where you've been avoiding thinking about something or coming to some resolution? Is there a person, place, or thing that you desire, yearn, long for that you've pushed into the shadows and not really sought resolution over? There's more about that, but I'm going to move on and see if it comes back. And then we have exchanging gifts in reverse. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So when things are out of whack, masculines, and you're not really pouring from a truly filled cup, you can't really, there's no sustainable way to exchange gifts with someone. And by exchanging gifts, I just mean exchanging energy. There's no real sustainable way if you continue to abandon your truth, your desires, your yearnings, your longings. I've said that twice now. It just keeps coming out. So what are you truly longing for? What is the vision you have of your life? And I want to refrain that. I almost didn't say that because I wanted to refine that. That's the word I was looking for. So you may have had many 3D tangible physical goals. You want to have a certain amount of money in the bank, you want to have this kind of job, you want to have this kind of car, this kind of partner, whatever these things are. That's lovely and amazing. And if you've accomplished that, great, wonderful. That's not what this message is about. This message, masculines, is about your internal goals. What are your internal goals for your life? How do you want to feel in your life? How do you want to wake up every day? How do you want to feel in relationship? How do you want to love? How do you want to, what kind of relationships would you like to have with your kids, your parents, or your chosen family? Or what kind of relationship would you like to have with your soul and your mission in this life? You're being asked to look inward and create some internal goals and no longer abandon these deep longings of your heart. Okay, anything else for masculines? Oh, I just realized we had there it is. Clean it up in reverse. Yeah, this is accountability. I mean, I said it earlier. We're here again. Thank you, Spirit, for reiterating that. What are you avoiding, masculines? If you hear me say that, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I just snapped off camera. I don't know if you heard that. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you look at your shadow ledger of all the accounts that are open in your life that you haven't properly closed or you haven't properly maintained or healed in some capacity? Yeah, and then we have imagine. Listen, masculines, you cannot imagine an appropriate future for yourself unless you're honest with yourself. It's like you can't manifest something that's in alignment with your soul if you've been sort of lying to yourself, if you've been betraying your heart's longings and your mind's desires or your spirit's mission here. In the unconscious, I'm just laughing. Thank you, Spirit. I really appreciate that. In the unconscious position, which is what is being pushed into the shadow, we have truth be told. So there's some truth that either you've been avoiding saying or you've been avoiding hearing. It's time to take the lock off. My right ear just started ringing. Thank you, Spirit. Anything about that? Okay, thank you. So I said both those things. I said it's either a truth that you're not allowing, or a truth that you're not hearing. And there's something about, okay, thank you. I'm going in so many directions, and I laugh because this round and round is exactly what's going on in my energy field. So, masculines, this is for some of you. They're not giving me a percentage. I don't know how many of you, but masculines, there have been many moments in your life where you have pushed the truth into the shadows. And I'm sorry to say it kind of sharp and pointy, but you've played dumb. You've played dumb because it's been easier to play dumb than it is to look at what's being shared with you. So there's a deep, deep truth excavation in process. Not only are you excavating your soul's deepest truth, but you're also excavating all of the truth that has been shared with you on the journey that you have betrayed or abandoned in some capacity. You are excavating that truth, and you are finally letting it into your heart. You're letting it into your nervous system, and you're coming into a more intimate relationship with all of these abandoned puzzle pieces of truth. Let me tell you, masculines, the benefit of this excavation is that at the end of it, when you finally do the difficult work, on the other side of it, you will be free. You will no longer be leaking energy to people, places, and things that you have kept open accounts with. I don't know why I'm using this weird accounting language today. I think I said ledger earlier. There's something about that, of taking accountability, right? What month is it? Right. We just, in the US, we had tax season. I don't know if it's the same time globally, but in April we have tax season where we have to go over our finances, our accounts payable, our accounts receivable, all the things. We have to actually put it all down in a ledger or somewhere to identify what energy is going out and what energy is coming in. And sometimes, more times than not, when we don't clean up our relationships, we leak energy to those things. It's like having it's like keeping credit cards open that have annual fees, and you don't even use them and you don't forget about it, but once a year you get charged $100. It's time for you to take accountability and look at this. Does this account serve you? Did it serve you at one point? Does it have a really incredible benefits that you totally forgot about it and that you're ignoring? Or is it time to negotiate with the company and get a lower fee or close the account, even though I think closing credit cards is bad for your credit. So please don't take that accounting advice from me. But excuse me, you get the point of what I'm trying to say. Basically, you're excavating anything you've put into the shadows. All right, this deck is ginormous. Look how huge this deck is. Bear with me while I attempt to shuffle it. That was actually pretty darn good. All right. Spirit. All right. Anything else for masculines? What else do the masculines need to know? This deck is so hard to shuffle. Ooh. See? I'm launching everything everywhere. Hold on. Okay. These are my very quantum cards, my Starseed Oracle cards by Wizard Azanon. I love this deck. Okay. Temple of Perfected Essence. Divinity, honor, responsibility, humility. I'm already loving this because it's so in alignment with what we're talking about here. Thank you, Spirit. We have guanine and cytosine. Commitment, connection, flexibility, and resolution. And then we have Temple of Amethystia. Tranquility, patience, disillusion. Okay. Let me just see what's in the unconscious position. We have Metatron Star, exaltation, brilliance, triumph, victory. Oh my God, I want to cry. Masculines. Oh God, I'm so touched by this. Masculines, on the other side of all of this hard work is your exaltation. You will reach an exalted state. You will be able to have access to your soul's brightest, shiniest brilliance. You will step into the victory. You will step into your divinity. Oh goodness. But yet, for some of you, this is what you're pushing away. When you're pushing away the little things, this is actually what you're pushing away. It's really easy when it's something small. I'm not saying this stuff is small because it's really hard work. I don't want to diminish the pain of the journey and the hard work of the journey. But when we, like, say we're avoiding a difficult conversation with someone, or say we're avoiding speaking our heart's truth, sharing vulnerably, it might not seem like a big deal in that moment to push that one moment away. But if you go through your whole life, masculines, pushing all of those moments away, what you're actually pushing away is your exalted state, is your Christ state, is your, whatever you want to call it, your highest self. Wow, masculines. Very intense. Okay, let me just drop into these really quick. Oh, I didn't even, yes, divinity, honor, responsibility, humility. I mean, listen, at some point, the only way out is through, masculines. I feel bad. I feel like I'm being a little like, I'm being a bit of a tough cookie on you, but that's the energy. That's what's coming through. There's just no other path through than accountability. You can't get around it this time. It's like it's almost like what happens when you put off the debt collectors. They start to repossess your property. They start to repossess your life. Well, you're like past that. And if you get caught, they could take you away to, I don't know, jail. Is that how it works? That's how it works in the movies. I don't know anything about that in real life, but this is the weird analogy they're gifting me. So, yeah, it's just time. It's just time, masculines. You're being called to stay committed to your soul's path, to honor the connections in your life, the people, the places, the things in your life that matter, the things that awaken your heart, the things that ignite the soul. Take honor and responsibility in this calling, because it's a vocation, masculines, and it's here and ready for you. It's like, for those of you who've listened to me talk about twin flame stuff for about a year now, I always bring up the throne energy, right? There's the divine masculine throne and the divine feminine throne. No matter how far you journey in your life, that throne, your specific throne, will always be waiting for you. It's the seat that is permanently reserved for your higher self. It is up to you to do the work to get back there, masculines. Okay. You're being also asked to stay humble and stay stoking the embers of this inner peace. Stay humble and stay peaceful and be patient with yourself as you allow certain relationships with people, places, and things to dissolve, right? We have this dissolution here. Sometimes we can't receive new gifts until we create space for them in our lives. Sometimes, that's the whole point, right? We are calling all of our energy back into present time, back from places where we're leaking. That's the accounting lingo that I'm talking about, right? If we're leaking energy to old relationships or old unresolved traumas or pains, then we are not free. We are not fully free in the present moment to receive current gifts. Okay. Wow. All right. Beautiful. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, Spirit? Okay. Let's see. I'm sorry if the camera shakes when I shuffle. I hope it's not making anybody nauseous. I hate when that happens. Okay, anything else for Spirit? Anything else, Spirit, for masculines? Where are they going? What do they need to know? We have strength. Actually, I'm going to hold this up. Look how beautiful this card is. This is very interesting because it's showing heart chakra, but it's also orange, second chakra, sacral chakra. That's our sensuality. That's our, not just, our creativity, but the confidence in our creativity. It says, strength comes from many sources, masculines. Staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we're always with you. This is really funny and interesting because now I'm thinking about, we each as individuals, right, in separation, the perception of separation as humans, we each have our own bank account that we manage, right? But we all also have access, or what is it called when you have two people on one bank account, a joint bank account, or dual holders or something. We all have a joint bank account with the infinite, with oneness, right? So even though you might be depleted in your personal bank account, masculines, you have access to your parents' bank account. You have access to God's bank account, where you could tap into this infinite wellspring of energy, knowledge, and wisdom. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else for these divine masculines? We have take a moment in reverse, meaning this is what you have to do. Wait, don't we also have... Didn't we have a rest card somewhere? Anyway, let me just go on. Take a moment, masculines. Stop for a moment. Now is not the time to rush into the decision you're about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment to pause and quiet your mind, so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act or move forward. Thank you, Spirit. This is reiterating everything I said over here. Remember, we have deep knowing, meaning the truth and wisdom already exists within you, masculines. Yet you haven't taken enough time to actually think, to let yourself feel your way towards the truth. Okay? Anything else? Anything else for these beloved masculines? Okay, that's too many. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Just one, please. Just one, please. Okay, thank you. Oh, we got two. Fine, I'll take two. Okay, we have choices and stay connected. Look at all these doorways. Look at all these different pathways you could take, masculines. It says, when you accept responsibility for your life and the choices you make, you begin to tap into the power of your own spirit. You'll be able to listen to and appreciate the intuitive wisdom that's inside you already, and apply it positively and constructively to your outside world. Isn't it fun when our cards reflect everything I just said? Oh, God, I love it. And then we have stay connected. It says let me do this off camera so I could actually see it. We are all born connected to spirit, masculines, often known as the divine source. Yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect to the source, whatever that is for you, whatever your version of God is. Doesn't matter if it's a God, many gods, a walk in nature, music, whatever your God is, it's time for you to kind of sort of return to that, your flavor of spirituality, whatever that looks like for you, masculines. Spirit, what did I want to say about this? Something in this card I said earlier and I wanted to circle back. Thank you, Spirit. So, okay, masculine, didn't I say something earlier about how you've been so brilliant at building in 3D, of having three-dimensional life goals and going after different things out in the world? You're also meant to work that hard in your inner world. So if you've gone as far as you can go and you seem to be stuck, it's because you're being called to what? Bring balance. You're being called to bring balance to these other facets of your internal world, okay? In the unconscious, we have breathe. Yeah, and also take care of yourself. Let me just read it. The breath is the vital bridge between your body and soul. It's the connection between the inside and outside, connecting you to the universe, spirit, and the divine source. The breath permeates your entire being with prana, which is the same life-giving force that nourishes everything in the universe. Okay, beautiful. Spirit, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Sorry I'm taking so long. I'm not getting... Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any questions you want to ask the Divine Masculines? Any questions? Anything else? Anything else? Let's get them all out. Might as well get them all out now. Anything else? Anything else? Okay then. Anything else? All right, we got a lot. Anything? I just got to keep going because I'm a glutton for punishment. Okay, good. Thank you, Spirit. In the unconscious position, we have, how can I go higher? Yeah, so, okay, so this is what's being pushed into the shadow masculine. You know, it's like the divine has gifted you a ladder, and instead of using it, instead of climbing it, you've leaned it against the house as a decoration, and you've let the vines grow up it, when really it's a mechanism for your ascension, masculines. Let's see here. We have heal. What is mending? Don't we have a mending card under here? Is that real? Hold on. Hold on. I swear to God, we have right here. We have a mending card. This is your second mending card, masculines. This is a time of healing. This is a time, again, you're going to hear me say it 100 times. You're probably going to be annoyed with me. This is a time of taking a radical accountability. But don't forget ruthless love. If you can't take accountability without bringing love with you, this accountability may bulldoze you. It may burn out and short circuit your circuits. You know what I'm trying to say. If you cannot bring love and light with you down into the darkest depths, this process will not be sustainable and you'll burn out. This is a really heavy self-care piece. And then where else are we going? We have building. What am I integrating? Yes. And specifically, normally, I mean, this is a very obvious card of integrating is such a huge part of the transformation process. But for me, this is linking balance again. What are you integrating from the external world and also your internal experience? I was just having 2 different conversations with 2 different friends in the last 2 days, and we were talking about how it doesn't matter how good, quote unquote, you are as a seeker, as a one who's exploring consciousness. It doesn't matter how good you are at asking the big questions if your body cannot receive them. Sometimes we work so hard and diligently to excavate our truth, and then when that truth hits us, it's like a punch in the gut, and our nervous system cannot actually hold the altitude of that vibration. Oh, thank you, Spirit. That's a good analogy. It's like going from a low altitude to a high altitude. If you go too quickly, you can get altitude sickness, and that's not fun. I've had it several times. It's really not fun. You get nauseous and sick, and you feel like your head's in a vice, and it's hard to breathe, and all the things happen. So masculines, go at a pace that is sustainable, and go at a pace where you can bring love with you, okay? And then we have, where do I give and receive? This is a matching energy. So masculines, this works both ways, okay? You're being asked to check in with self. Are you bleeding energy to something? Are you giving, and not working on your ability to receive? That's very common for masculines. It's like go, do, build. But where in your life can you let your receive just 10% more? Did that sentence make sense? I feel like I missed a few words in there. Where in your life can you allow yourself to receive just 10% more? You don't have to be like, the best receiver in the world, but you can. What would allow you to receive love, presence, a meal from a friend, a compliment from a stranger, just 10% more? And then we have what is always mine, Carrie. Beautiful. Oh God, you're going to be so annoyed. The accountability is coming up again. What is yours to carry, masculines? What is always mine? For those of you who've watched me and have dealt with my annoying hammering these lessons into you, you've heard me talk about our side of the street, right? There's their side of the street and our side of the street. And there is like anybody. It's the planet, it's a person, it's all the things. It's anything outside of us. But then we have our side of the street, which is really the only thing in life that we get to take accountability for. It's the only thing we can control, right? We can't control our external world, but we can control ourselves and our responses to it. Okay. And then we have this dig card. It says, what do I want to carve out space for in my life? Beautiful, beautiful full circle moment, masculines. When I asked you in the beginning, what do you truly desire? What dreams, goals, feelings have you orphaned? Have you abandoned? You're being called to take accountability and heal that relationship with that part of self. And as that part of self, forgive you for abandoning, for all the abandonment and betrayal. This is a wild ride. You see, are you starting to like get to know me and the way I work with these energies? It's really amazing that we can be, swimming in the depths of this consciousness soup and taking accountability for all these different parts, for how we've treated ourselves at different versions of ourselves through our lifetime. I'm like really loving this reading. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Okay. We're going to get some animal cards. This deck is ginormous and really hard to shuffle, so bear with me. Look how big these cards are. Do you guys remember when you were little, they had like the joke cards that were like so big, but actually I feel like my grandmother used them because they were large print and she could see the numbers. This is how I feel when I shuffle them. They were almost like comical. They were so huge. They were like as big as a clipboard. All right, one more shuffle. Sorry, it's taking me so long. All right, Spirit. What do these divine masculines need to hear right now? What would support them on their path? What would support them in accessing the highest and best possible good? What would help them receive love, Spirit? What would help the masculines receive love right now? Okay, that's too many. Hold on. I know, we got excited, Spirit. I know. That flipped and flipped back. Nope, I'm going to keep going until we get a pure hell yes from the universe. Spirit, a full yes, please. A full yes. What is a full yes for the masculines? There we go. Oh, there we go again. We have hummingbird miracles. And then we also have dragonfly magic. I embrace my transformation. I courageously let go of the past. The magic of nature is in me. I am brilliant and I am blessed. Hummingbird miracles. You are the joy bringer, masculines. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. Was it about, I don't know if it's hummingbirds or if it's bumblebees or maybe both, that their wings move so fast that they're actually like hovering. They create almost like a resonance field around them that allows them to hover in these ways. And so masculines, the beautiful message here is like, let yourself trust in your sweetness, in your personality, in your charisma, in your magnetism. Allow your personality to come out. Where have you pushed it into the shadows? It's time to let those pieces of your personality feel the sun on their wings. It's time to spread your light. In the unconscious position, because I can't not look, I just have to look. We have vibrancy. Hello. You're pushing your vibrancy into the shadows here. It says, masculines, you were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. That's the second time humility was mentioned in this reading. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Beautiful, masculines. Okay, I got to end on a Buddha wisdom because I love me some Buddha wisdom. So let's see. What would you like to end on? What would you like to end on for the highest and best good of self on the planet? What would you like to end on? Thank you, Spirit. We have set your heart on doing good, masculines. Do it over and over again, and you will be filled with joy. It's time. You're being called to service, masculines. Beautiful. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for just being present with this wild twin flame journey, this journey towards inner union, towards this divine holy marriage. If you wouldn't mind helping me out and helping us shift collective consciousness, please like and share this video. It would mean so much to me. I appreciate all of your kind words, all of your comments, all of your messages, both public and private. It really, really is shifting the collective. All right, I hope this was supportive, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, masculines.